day of Venus, and welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am Adina, the hostess of this channel and your resident medium, oracle, woo lady, wise woman, seer, prophetess, priestess, reader, whatever you guys call us these days. And I just want to let you newbies know that I do all of those things on this channel and it's all for entertainment. So if you don't jive with that, it's okay. I invite you to go ahead and see your way out just as peacefully as you've come. And to all of my regular viewers, my busted babies, my bush watchers, the nice ones, not the mean ones, and my OG viewers, subscribers, and everybody else who's a regular around here. Happy Friday, happy day of Venus, and welcome to Beyond the Veil. Sissy Barbie, hey honey, it has been a rough week. It's been a rough week for me too. Hello, my Erica. I'm glad that you were able to make your way over here. I know that sometimes they be hating on even my subscribers. JD, you're at work. Have a good day at work. Be very prosperous and abundant. Make a lot of money, all that good stuff. But you too, Erica. You guys have a good night at work. Get money, honeys. Well, as people are making their way into the live, I suppose however many people will be able to join this live since I am black, bald, shadow band, and all of those things. So this is a let's chat. Please let me know what's on your mind. It's a lot going on in the world, and we're here to discuss it if you'd like. I usually have ready made topics, but on my let's chat days, I open the floor to you guys to let me know what you guys want to use me for. Is everybody else that's in the chat, in the live, if there's anybody else in the live doing good? Mental and emotional and spiritual health check in. How's everybody doing? I just got this feeling of heaviness over me suddenly. Has it been a rough week for everyone or just me and Sissy? As you can see, I'm already in my robe and my scarf after these lives because I am doing an inner courts live tonight. I am going to groom and do all of that stuff because it's my cousin's birthday tomorrow and we're going outside a little bit. So, what's going on with you guys? I thought I was gonna read Tina and her husband, but I decided not to because, hey, 420 Hudson, I like that. I like that. Happy Friday to you. Have plenty of the devil's lettuce at 420 and beyond. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put some of the devil's lettuce in this right here. Now, you guys, I went into the corner store to get my grab a leaf, and I saw that they had crushed grab a leaf. And I said, what the hell is that? But you know what? I remember um an old friend of mine's daughter, an ex-friend of mine's daughter who was 17, she liked to take grab a leaf and crush it up and mix it up in the blunt. And she was just saying like, that's what you do at grabba. And I was like, but that's not what you do. You roll the weed in it. So apparently that's what the people are doing these days. You guys are breaking down the actual tobacco leaf and putting it in your blunts. Can we do Live Nation? Good. That's a good one. Yes, we can do that. We'll start there. So I was like, why would anyone take a perfectly good, wholesome, fresh leaf that you can just bust down the stem, cut into a rectangular size of your desire, and then do that? Why y'all gotta put the extra razzle dazzle in there? What does the extra razzle dazzle do? when you roll it in the grabber and break it down in the grabber, what does the extra razzle dazzle do? Hey, Alfredo. Hey, Nick. Hey, son Andreas. Hey, Stephanie. I see your red lips popping right out of your profile picture. Did I say hey, Alfredo? Hey, G Mac, the God. Because thank you for acknowledging me that way. So, G Mac, the God. All right. So, Sissy Barbie, do I remember you? Of course, Alfredo. Didn't I say that the last time I saw your name come in here, Alfredo? I hate that dance, by the way. Did you guys know that? I don't mind the dance if I'm the feeder, but I can't be the one that. That's what I imagine. Because when y'all do it in the videos, I be wondering if y'all make noises with your mouth. Like, is it this noise, or do y'all really be like, because it's weird if y'all don't make any noise. It's weird if y'all just like doing it on the for the content, but it's silent. I just I so I could hey Alfredo, I'm gonna do this when I see you, Alfredo, because I can't do the eating part. I just can't. I cannot. I cannot. All right, so Sissy Barbie wants to look into Rock Nation apparently maybe losing a court situation, but I did hear, thank you for the roses. I did hear that they said that this shall not, or I will say I will say that their attorneys, I believe, said this shall not be the end of this. You hear me? I say this. We're gonna go. Oh, buddy. Oh, we're mad. Oh, why we oughta. Thanks, 420. Why we oughta put them up. They said, "Oh, we mad. You're not. We're not. This won't be the last you see of me." Oh, you still love me? I still love you. Always have, and probably always will, depending on you. So yeah, so they say this isn't the end of this bucko. So yeah, we'll look into Rock Nation and look into their situation. Now, what was it about? Like price gouging and stuff like that? You did put a smile on my face, Alfredo, just by showing up being called Alfredo, because it's been a rough week for me and Sissy. So what were they accused of? Giving y'all a price that y'all willingly paid for? Is that what they're in trouble for? I do a class action lawsuit on each and every ticket purchaser. I sure would. If I was them, I'm just saying, if I was them, and if I wasn't, if I didn't love y'all the way I did, I would be the next step. Yeah, y'all would be the next step because you mean to tell me I set a price, they paid for it, and I'm in trouble? Why they do that? So I'll be filing a class action lawsuit on every ticket purchaser. I absolutely would because y'all gonna pay my legal fees that I just lost because I lost on account of y'all actually doing it. Oh, hidden fees and being a monopoly. The well, let me ask a question. What were the hidden fees? And if you guys were aware of those fees, would they be deal breakers on going to the concerts, doubling and tripling prices? Sure, I get that. I get it. It's they shouldn't have done that morally. But at the end of the day, I mean, does anybody I get that. They hid fees and stuff like that. They're not supposed to do that. Bad nation. My question to the purchasers is if they unhid those fees and put them blatantly in the terms and conditions that you accept when you purchase that I can assume a lot of you guys probably don't read. Would that be enough? Whatever the hidden fee was, would it be enough to be like, you know what? Because of that fee? Mm-mm. Sorry, Beyonce. I can't go because of that fee. The ticket would be 200 and you be having to pay 300. I wouldn't say having to pay. I would say you guys are suggested to pay $300. Not you guys, sissy. I'm just saying, concert goers, because nobody forces you to pay anything. They don't know your debit card, credit card, PayPal, Apple. They don't know your Apple Wallet number without you putting it in there. And I bet y'all be like, God dang, this ticket high. This was way higher than last time. Doot, 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 doot. Submit. Oh, so they still. Okay, so they still. Sissy says you click on the ticket and it says 200, and then by the time you get to the section where you pay your total, it's a new different price. So is it a new different price before you hit purchase? Is it $257.66 when you hit purchase? And then when you get your bank statement, it was actually $300? Or is it that after, you say, oh, the ticket is 200, and then you get to check out and it's like, wait a second, it's 300, but you still have the option to back out? I get all the immoral stuff. I get it. And it's probably illegal, which is why they lost their case. But that's probably why I ain't no judge. Because y'all would hate coming into my courts for stuff like this. I'd be like, well, sure. Based on the law, Live Nation, you weren't supposed to do that. But y'all can file a class action lawsuit against day ass for putting y'all in. I'm just kidding. I would make the rule. I would probably make the same ruling per the law. But then I'd also say it is a shame, though, that you all were able to get away with this in the first place in this economy. Like, YouTube is for free, and they be doing the same shucking and driving down on the YouTube for the free. And you ain't got to pay $2,600 for no nachos. You ain't got to pay 150, 100 for no cup of liquor. Alfredo, you'll love to come to my courtroom just to see me. All right, come in there on some BS if you want to. This me in the courtroom. Thank you, sweet, if you want to. You don't know what's behind this. Okay. All right. Let's take a look see. Let's take a look see. I'm just saying, Uni Kelly. I'm just saying. So you mean to tell me y'all charge $1,000 to see something that they could have watched down to the YouTube, and they paid it, bitch, Bailiff? You hear that shit? Listen, bitch, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and rule on this because y'all was wrong. Y'all was wrong. Y'all know how bad these people love they boogie down. They little boogie down when they stress, especially. Y'all listen now. Y'all don't have to charge them $1,000 to go to the cookout and see something that they're gonna post on YouTube or even have a Netflix special later. Y'all don't have to do that to the people. I'm just saying, bailiff. Did you know that don't you do nails on the side? You better double them. You better double them because if they paid $1,000 to go down to see the Beyonce, then they gonna need their nails done, girl. So you better get your coin. I'm gonna tell the bailiff to get your coin. Bailiff, you a barber? Mm-mm. It's a Jay-Z concert coming up. You know the man's is gonna be down there getting a fresh fades. And they lined ups. Make sure you gonna triple your chart, your because don't get yours. It's money to be made out here in these streets. It's everybody can eat. The people say fuck the economy. We got it. We don't like it, but we still gonna pay it. What? I just child, but hey. More power to the boogie down Bronx. the boogie down party. Y'all like them festivals too. They be having nachos that cost $30. Nachos with one squirt of cheese. They don't even give y'all three squirts. They give y'all one squirt of that bottled cheese. Mm-mm. And some dry jalapenos. Mm-mm. And they might charge y'all an extra dollar per jalapeno. I heard. Mm-mm. Then you got if you down to the Coachella, you gotta buy a tent, pitch a tent. You gotta furnish the tent. You still got to get the groceries to come to the Coachella in case you don't want to pay the Coachella. Yeah, listen. I don't charge enough. I'm just kidding. Okay, let me go and rinse my hands, child. Sissy, I know you wasn't signing up for that, but I understand if the law says they ain't supposed to do that, then don't do that. But it do y'all be reading the agreements and then saying, hold on, per the agreements they have in here, I'm calculating all of this and something's missing that they might be hiding out of this because based on this, okay, they charged me for that extra. Okay, so I see it should be 200, but based on what they telling me in the agreement, they're gonna add an extra 60. But some don't feel right. I feel like it should be more stuff in here. Let me call my attorney before I purchase this ticket and have them read over these terms and agreement. Y'all be doing that? Y'all call y'all attorneys to read the agreement before y'all hit purchase to make sure that everything they telling y'all was in that is adding up. Door fees and entry fees. I mean, yeah, you lucky they ain't pay y'all to use. I mean, charge y'all to use their bathrooms too. That's a missed opportunity, if you ask me. Because you got to go after you done got through all those other charges that people done. Even if you don't know what they paying you for, what you charging for, you still paying a lot of money. Y'all just now finding out that they wasn't supposed to be charging that much money. But before y'all knew that, y'all was just paying it. So in my opinion, shit, they should have snuck a bathroom fee in there because by the time you get the ticket to go to the concert and they done charge you to get into the entry and get out of the venue too, you done pay for your seat, all that good stuff, bitch, you gonna have to go to the bathroom. I'd definitely put a bathroom fee in there and snuck that in on y'all ass. Hell yeah, hells yeah. Hells yeah. A restroom sanitation fee because who gonna want to clean up this whole arena bathroom after this concert for free? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I ain't trying to tell Rock Nation to try nothing else, but if y'all do go down to the courthouse and y'all try this again and y'all win, y'all might as well put that bathroom fee in there. I'm just saying. All right, now let's take a look. See, Most High Mother and Father God, a key. My ancestors said, "Child, they just rolling their eyes at you," and it's funny. Please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of the entity of Rock Nation. Yes, corporations and businesses that are huge entities like that, they have their own energy, just like they have their own tax identification. They're their own entity. So all the conglomerate and all the involved parties of spirit, please allow me to look into the energy surrounding the Rock Nation headquarters. The Rock Nation headquarters, line one. Adina is on line one. They said put her on hold. She says she will not hold. She's on her way down here. She says she's outside. She's on her way up. Actually, too late. Here I am. Hi, guys. All right, Spirit. Rock Nation just had a, I guess, a bad day in court because the jury ruled against them that they weren't supposed to charge whatever they charged. They weren't supposed to sneak it in and hide it in and all this fancy language or no language at all. And I do know that their attorney, I heard that their attorney not only sent out a mass email addressing the staff and saying, "Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. If y'all think about getting on Indeed and LinkedIn, don't do it. We good. We finna take them back down to the courthouse and try it again." And then they publicly said, "Don't worry about nothing. We're gonna try it again." Because the problem was they wasn't able to get rid of the jury and let the decision lay on the judge. That's where their power lies. That's where their power lies, child, because they don't want to deal with the general public. Mm-mm. Because then that might tell what all the paid PR and stuff allegedly does not tell. And that's that the people actually might think differently about you guys. It might actually show the real opinion and how the general public might really feel if you get 12 random strangers and they just tend to agree that you guys were wrong, unlike maybe a judge would have. So I get it. If I was a corporation, a big boss hog like that, I probably and I knew that this is how the system works for the rich, then I probably would do that too. I try. Hey, I roll my dice down there too, and see if I can get a no jury. Just get a judge, jury, or whatever. Of course, Desiree is getting sued by Rock Nation. Oh, by Rock Nation's insurance company. Now you talking about you having a rough week. Imagine her. Imagine them, child, because more money, more problems. And the bigger your bank account, the bigger your problems tend to be when things go bad. So, child, in times like these, it pays to be closer to the ground. Because if you fall and you only on a stool, it ain't gonna hurt. That don't hurt. It don't hurt. That's why they ain't hurt. Aha. That's why they ain't hurt. But if you up on the Twin Towers and you fall, oh dear. Oh dear. So, Spirit, what is going on um, around Live Nation and their cohorts? Live Nation and their cohorts. Especially after their court situation, will they go back down to the courthouse and will they get a judge and a jury who decides to give them another go, overthrow that previous decision or whatever? In my opinion, Desiree Perez is probably the most shooken up over there because she just took multiple L's on the Live Nation and they took a L in court. And on her end, the insurance company is saying, we ain't paying for that. So, in my opinion, her chest is the most tight over there. And I say that because my chest feels a little heavy right now. So, despite what they say, I feel a heaviness abreast in my chest, in my abreast. And I think that has something to do with the weight of all of their surmounting challenges and obstacles. Because if with taking this L in court right before you are trying to sell a Jay-Z show, and then the people just found out that you be overcharging them and stuff like that, wow, that's kind of gonna ruin that might throw a monkey wrench in your show and your gig. So rock Live Nation, talk to me from your spirit and your soul's truth, keeping absolutely nothing hidden from me, including that which you might like to keep hidden from the judge, the jury, the feds, and the general public, and yourselves, allegedly, and in my opinion. I compel you. All right, let's see. In my opinion, they are concerned. Well, first of all, this is a jury. It's 10 people, but was this a unanimous agreement amongst the jury? I wouldn't be surprised. But this feels like after a setback, what they rely on is PR. Yes, it was unanimous. Okay. Listen, everybody said, bitch, y'all tried it. So thank you, sissy. This is unanimous. And I'm not surprised that they're addressing the public from their attorney and saying, "No, this isn't the end of us," because it communicates to them when they are not in control of a situation, meaning the general public is allowed to have a say so that cannot be squashed, then that's when they have a problem. And ironically, I feel like, again, their strong suit when they're going through things is the media. Um, they flood the media with a lot of positive PR, in my opinion. And they have a lot of allies and things like that who will, the Forbes. Something will come up about them. Next thing you know, somebody over there will be on the Forbes list, a new billionaire. All of these billionaires over there, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rihanna. Why are you got why anyways, because remember it was on that tape that came out, Desiree Perez was saying, man, we need 40 mil, doc, man. We need that 40 mil, man. We need it bad, bruh. Man, let me hold it, man. I know you good for it. I know you got that, man. Come on, man. Come on. I know you know I'm good for it, man. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So I just, hey. So this is the hey Jazz, gonna run around. We see you. We love you. This is the unanimous decision. The general public has spoken, and this is probably the only way that the general public's perception of them can ever really be heard. Because if the media is going to do what it does to make sure that any negative, press about them, whether it be in the mainstream media or in the new streets of the media, the blogs, and on the social media sites, they can still use their resources, in my opinion, to combat that. But when the general public becomes the jury, well, then that's where the public's perception of them that can't be squashed is able to sneak through. This feels like, man, listen, I'm not even going to say what I want to say, but the irony of it all, and I'm a woo lady, so I don't believe in coincidences and irony, but I remember seeing a tower moment and I said, oh, there is the crumbling for you guys. And it'll probably happen a little slowly because I think it was a tower in reverse. And I think I said they may have already fallen. It's just a slow fall. It's a slow fall. Because I saw the tower in reverse for them in one of their future positions in the past, at least Rock Nation, because I started talking about Tory Lane's dad after I saw it. So the slow crumble. This is a slow crumble, but at some point, a tower moment happened. They were just able to kind of hold it steady as it fell. But you guys got cracked over your skull in a spiritual way. And I'm telling you guys, it was this this is the culmination of a lot of people's work against y'all probably, but the prophet Tory Lane's daddy, Sunstar, when I heard his proclamation, I felt it. I felt it in my spirit. And I said, time's a wasting. Don't you take your time, young man. Mm-mm. Challenging. This is a knockdown blow for them because it was a unanimous decision. Previously, I believe they tried to have a jury not be a part of the case. I believe I heard that somewhere in some of the reports because I think that they feel like they have a leg to stand on when they only have to work with their elite peers who are more inclined to help them. But every now and then, somebody or something goes over their head, and even their hands are tied. And this feels like this was the case for them. So the challenges they tried but failed, but the problem is that it's in the challenging position. So that means their challenge is accepting a defeat. They still want to fight back. So it's going to be a challenge for them after their first defeat in the court, going back and then, getting a unanimous decision thrown out. That'll be a challenge. Not saying it won't happen, but it'll be a challenge. It's in your challenging position because it was unanimous. And this is a case. Live Nation, Rock Nation, and Ticketmaster, are those the three um, conglomerates of this entity that are being accused or directly affected? Live Nation, Rock Nation, Ticketmaster, who all make up Live Nation. Is it like that? Okay, the big three. Okay, so this is them. That's what led them to this point. The accusations filed against them. So that's the past position because that's what brought us here. And then the two of swords. Somebody out of the big three drops out of this battle. Who shall it be? Out of the big three in the past where you guys started and then you had a bad day in court, somebody is going to bow out of this. Is it Ticketmaster? Because Ticketmaster, you guys are only a part of the big three because of the other two entities, kind of like you're the highway that they would do business on, or are they the highway? Anyways, no, you guys are the highway. They can have their artists and stuff, and they can have their artists put out shows, but you guys control how the tickets are going to be sold to the public. So this feels like Ticketmaster. I won't say they'll bow out. I don't know why I don't see them here anymore, but it makes me feel like Live Nation and Rock Nation are tied, even if Ticketmaster is not. I believe there are other ticket purchasing services. So even if they don't have Ticketmaster, you still would have Live Nation and Rock Nation. So the battle is really upon them. And in my opinion, they will continue this battle. I'm interested to see the outcome since seeing them continuing the battle is in their future. I'm anxious for the outcome and how we're going to get there. The Hermit, an investigation. You guys, Live Nation, Rock Nation, you guys are being investigated for more than just this ticket stuff. You guys just had to settle with the Justice Department. So there are probably several investigations upon your head top, and they're all just kind of trickling out. In my opinion, there's a major one that they're working on that I feel like would take you guys down, or that would take you guys up in a Rico, maybe give you guys a Diddy day, a Diddy doomsday. That's still in the works. So they're playing this so brutal on you guys. It's like a slow kill. It really is. They hit y'all up for 200 mil, and then they still fed y'all to the wolves, um, letting y'all get caught up here because I'm sure y'all thought after paying that 200 mil, extortion allegedly, in my opinion, blackmail allegedly, in my opinion, from the Justice Department, I think that y'all thought we good now. We good. But then y'all got hit up again. And the problem is they're not done because they have something bigger that they're digging into and digging at. But the fact that they just gonna let the stuff that they already got, compiled and sealed basically on y'all, like, all right, we can unleash that, we can unleash that, we can unleash that. Because at the end of the day, all of this, it's like they're gonna let y'all lose this. Y'all might, if y'all lose the outcome, I see how they played this because losing this is probably going to play against y'all in their bigger picture. So it's like they're chopping you guys' legs off one by one. If I see the Four of Wands anywhere in reverse in here, then God dog it, the Wheel of Fortune, good enough. It's four entities on here. They listen, they hit y'all up good. They hit y'all up good so that you could feel like the wheel was going to turn in your favor and that you were safe and stable, fixed, like these four fixed signs here. You guys roll the dice on that wheel down to the casino, hoping, hoping that that 200 was going to clear everything. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, the good thing though is that this isn't in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. This is a statement they put out to their staff and to the public saying it's not over. Oh, the casino getting rejected? Okay. Interesting that, okay. Thank you, Sissy, because that's what that means. It did start there. It absolutely did. Because when I looked at the wheel, I definitely, and sometimes this does, like in the offset reading, when I saw the Wheel of Fortune either upright or reverse, I'm going to associate this with the casino because look at that. And then these are all the people standing around gambling. This is the casino man, the blackjack, the casino referee. That's what I call the people, the casino referees. And then this, the Anubis, that is the system that works against y'all. The system of luck. It's rigged so that you don't win. But you know, if you play enough, you'll strike gold, but you got to spend so much money to them. So it's a system that's set for the massive amounts of people that go into casinos to gamble to lose because the casino wins in that. The casino only wins. The casino wins. Even if seven people, even if 10 people strike big that night, the casino won. So that's the casino referee. And that's the slice it slick system underneath the casino that says it. Let's sell them the dream. I mean, lottery, lottery. They said the lottery was supposed to pay for the education fund. Child, look down to the Department of Education. Look what they done did with so y'all still giving. Y'all better start. Listen, y'all want to protest? Don't do the lottery no more. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because they told y'all it was going to the Department of Education and stuff like that. And you see, it's not going there. So this is how or Live Nation was able to hit y'all up because you see something ain't right. And listen, even if you don't have no way of knowing it's not right, in your chest when you get to the checkout, and it went from 200 to 350. That god dang, you say that sting, that what let hold on. That's the same thing. It's the same situation. You know it ain't right, but let me click purchase because the ticket's almost sold out. Isn't I told y'all who did them in? It was Tory Lane's biological passed away mama. I told y'all, remember? She came up through the reading. It was Tory Lane's mama. Limited power when you on this earth, but out of this earth, mm-mm, 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 especially when you die right. Hmm. When you die in your roots, you can go into afterlife and do way more. than you could here in a system of bondage and energy of bondage. But the fact that you kept your roots, you get the crown of victory, like they say in the scripture. But y'all don't listen to black people when they tell you what the scriptures mean. Y'all listen to them people. But the crown of victory, you get that when you persevere. And you only persevere when the odds are against you. And I'm going to say she died in her roots because they are, I believe, believers of some form of African spirituality. And so the same power that she believed in, she kept. And only that is enough to topple a giant from the other side. hmm I read y'all, I think I read to y'all the other day about the crown of victory that you get. It's still right here because I did just read it to y'all. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the people. To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in the paradise of the creative force. Being victorious, though, another one. Whoever has ear, let them hear what the Spirit says to the people. The one who is victorious will not be hurt at all by the second death. Again, whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the people. The one who is victorious, I will give some of the hidden manna. I will also give that person a white stone with a new name written on it, known to only the one who receives it. There's a lot of victory spoken of, and I'm in Revelations. A lot of victory. But do you understand what victory means? You have to go through a battle. And going through life, a part of the mass norm, what is a societal norm, is not a battle for you to be victorious. Keep that in mind. If you live in your power, then you will die in your power, and then you will live in your power and not have to be reincarnated back into ignorance so you can go through another life cycle that is oppressing to your soul so that you seek something that is real power, not something that's about 250 years of popularity and then it begins to crumble upon itself. There is an everlasting gospel that existed before the new testimony. And for those who have that, those who keep that, despite how challenging it is to believe in those things, to believe in your traditions, into your ancestors, despite what they say, despite the oppression, despite the mass indoctrination that is against you and your ancestors. If you hold on to that and believe in it, despite what they say about you, don't worry about it. I mean, worry about what they say. They're going to still be saying the same thing next lifetime. So that's a word, that's a message. I never get through just a regular reading without the spirit taking hold of me. And then I have to shandara handara bo hayata. And then I can snap back. So this is them wanting to soften the blow in the PR. We're not done. This isn't it. They have to remind the public that we're strong. This isn't just by them saying it's not over. They're communicating that this isn't right. There's something wrong with this decision. And so we still have a leg to stand on, whether they do or they don't. The star. Who just said something about Megan? Isn't she in a new? Was that AI? I was scrolling on Instagram and then Tasha K's Instagram came up and it was some movie, like some jail movie thing with Megan. It looked like she was playing a part in some jail movie. That could have been AI, but she's also on Broadway. She's a part of the PR, in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, this is her new movie coming out. Perfect timing to come out right as they were about to have their day in court. But that's, in my opinion, how they do their little 1-2. It's pretty random of a cameo. So I think, they need to keep her in the spotlight and positive things to drown out the noise. Beyonce used to do that job, but then she failed. Everybody's talking about her body. Mama Tina came out and tried. That failed. Solange did just release a new installment of something in Saint Huron, but she not a part of their PR campaign. But then again, she just put something out today for Saint Huron. So everybody at work. Good, sissy. I'm so glad you do. The OGs would be more, it'd be easier for you guys to navigate things and put two and two together. Hopes and fears. Devil in reverse. Tor getting out. Now that they could be suspicious about whether the Justice Department is going to make that the big whammy for them. Because in their hopes and fears, this is someone who's in jail. This is a situation that started between a man and a woman, and then an entity got involved to handle it, chain both of them to them forever. Hopes and fears, though, is that these bondages are released. So they may be wondering, now that this has not gone in their favor the first time, they may be wondering if the Justice Department is going to make this their long game. However, I I don't think. Now, when I saw this for ASAP Rocky and his outcome, I said that man is not going to jail. So whatever they do in the near future, they may be able to work with somebody that's connected to them. Or this is all a setup for a bigger show. Let me start with the outcome first. And then I'm going to go to the Hermit because they right next to each other. And I need to see if, uh, well, it's not the World card, so it's not a Rico. There's going to be some moving of resources around here, even resources that they ain't got. But we're going to rob people. The insurance situation. I was about to say we're going to rob Peter to pay Paul. And that's what Desiree was being accused of. The insurance situation, I think. Now, if this isn't the insurance situation, which it could be, and this is probably the insurance company is going to win. I forgot I'm reading Live Nation. I believe the insurance company is going to win against Rock Nation, Live Nation, because they were robbing Peter to pay Paul. Got caught. And the insurance is going to say you have to pay that with your own money. So heads up, Desiree. You just got a freebie. Your insurance company is going to have a victory. You're going to be held responsible for your court fees. I see a big L. One that you guys took today, but you guys are in L season. Look at there. You guys are headed towards this. Mm-mm-mm. Upright. you be going away from it. So this is being hitting rock bottom, but on your way back up. You guys, though, have been experiencing your peak, it seems, and you're headed here. This doesn't have to be the end, but it definitely is a permanent situation. And look who's behind it, a fire sign woman that is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I told y'all Nikki done ran to the Justice Department. Look, look. I didn't see that when I said it. This was hiding behind that. I actually saw this behind it. This was stuck. I told y'all before she done ran down to the Justice Department and told everything like she said she would. I told y'all that the last time I read Rock Nation or Jay-Z, but I'm reading Live Nation. So that's why I'm seeing them moving forward. But I think this is Live Nation and Rock Nation. And then I also see the Desiree situation. The insurance company, in my opinion, is going to win. Desiree is going to be held responsible. Look at there, that Sagittarius woman standing next to the Justice Department to take y'all, helping them take y'all down. Y'all hurt her. This isn't her being spiteful. You all hurt her. This is a woman that is wounded. She seems, fire signs are sensitive, first of all. The fire is blazing. If you blow on it, it's going to either move or go out. If you squirt some water on it, it's going to go out. If you throw some dirt on it, it's going to go out. So fire is very sensitive. You can burn dirt, you can wet dirt, you can dirt, you can blow dirt, and dirt is going to dirt. You can fire water, it's going to evaporate into invisible water. You can throw dirt into water, and the dirt is going to get wet, and you can blow air onto water, and water is going to water. And you can't burn air. You can't put water, you can't use water to put out air, and you can't use earth to put out air. So the air signs reign supreme. Facts. But I'm saying fire is sensitive. It's the most sensitive to all the elements. It's the easiest to be extinguished. So you all hurt Nicki Minaj. It's not a, this in reverse would say, oh, she is like, she has an axe to grind. This is a petty vindictive. This though is just her saying, no, 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 no. You guys did some horrible things to me. You made it impossible for me to have a career. You guys hurt her. You guys hurt her. And imagine, this could have been avoided. You guys could have had a conversation with her. And Jay-Z, you're a Sagittarius too. So, in my opinion, you don't express hurt through emotion, you express it through more fire, more aggression, more will to assert yourself. When and your wife is an air, she's a Virgo, that's an earth sign, but it's ruled by Mercury. So where somebody needed to have some compassion in the situation or tell you guys, hey, maybe you should handle it this way. And it seems like the only one who could have did that was Solange, but y'all don't, she ain't finna help you. She ain't finna help Jay-Z like that. So, because she's a Cancer. I say that because she's a Cancer. Um, and everybody likes Solange. Everyone likes Solange. They like Solange for not being a part of the machine. They like her for being like the one who's not all Hollywood and eclectic and stuff. So, but Beyonce keeps her tuck for her. Beyonce said, that's my pit bull. She only comes out for me. And I ain't mad at you, Beyonce. I ain't mad, child. So that's that with The Rock. What else y'all want? What else y'all got? Oh, let me look at the Justice Department. What y'all gonna do? Because I see the insurance company ain't going. The price gouging courts ain't going. Now let me look at the justice. I mean the investigation, because yeah, this tells me y'all in it for the long haul. Yeah, she was. She absolutely was. And I believe I saw Jay-Z reaching out to her. I called him reaching out to her. I said that he would. I don't know if he ever did, and it didn't go the right way. But maybe it was just him addressing her through the public, through the whatever, through his PR or something. The Hermit. There is a holy alliance behind you guys' bad days in courts. Somebody is in an intimate relationship with the Department of Justice. And whatever they have been feeding them, or however this person, this informant, has been cooperating, I feel like them justice people said, oh, bitch. I feel like they, listen, I feel like they ain't just offer Nicki Minaj food. I think they ordered a buffet and they all sat down and ate, because usually the detectives let you eat because they got to do the psychology. But no, I think the whole department had, like, they did a department day off. Everybody was paid, but we gonna do like a in-office party, catered, strippers, you name it. Y'all get the contraband out the locker room. Get that too. We finna party. We finna party. Yes. Get the contraband out. Break it out. Yes. Yes. They said, oh, so not only can we all tag team them, but we can hit them up for a check based on what we know. And they know that we know because you over here sitting in our car with us. Because you saw Nicki Minaj and President Trump, oh, I done already shuffled, sitting in that car together. Mhm. Just off the record. I don't even want the Secret Service around to hear this. This has to be off the record. Let me tell you about Desiree. I mean, let me tell you about Kathy. Because y'all ain't going to be able to do nothing with that. But let me tell you off the record. Let me tell you in the car where there's no devices. Kathy's spirit needs to stay where it's at. Mama, what's the Day Star, Sun Star, Northern Star, Eastern Star? What's their last names? Lanes? No, Tori last name ain't no goddamn Lanes. Peterson? Mama, the OG Mama Peterson in the skies is woke enough for everybody. Let Kathy stay where she at. She didn't have the strength in life to fight this. Somebody else involved in this situation got the crown of victory upon death. They're more than enough. Don't you think? Don't you think? You don't think Mama Peterson got this handled? Child, I'm telling y'all. I work with the dead. I know what it looked like. All right, so this unholy alliance, Nikki, I still wonder. I still wonder. I've said this 3 times already, so that makes the third time the charms for me. And whatever I wonder now is confirmed in my mind. But since I haven't seen it because I haven't specifically looked for it, it's good enough for me. Nikki, what is this man getting out of this from you? Because I don't feel like it's monetary. I don't feel like it's anything that he needs from you to help you, other than the fact that this man had a past, hanging and swinging with the Negroes. I'll be 40 next year. So that means I'm old enough to know a thing or two. I was born in the 80s. I know how this man's image has been up until he ran for president. He was down with the brown. Nobody in the black community had an issue with Trump before he started running for president. You guys were just kikiing with Nene for getting a Trump check when she was down to his show. But then he became a president. Now all of a sudden he doesn't like black people. But all the 80s babies and above know that Negroes have loved Trump and Trump has loved or definitely not been an enemy of the black estate until he was bought out by the you know who's. You know the who's. Yes, y'all niggas love The Apprentice. Y'all love The Apprentice. Y'all love watching them supermodels get trafficked down to the national TV allegedly. Y'all listen, it was a key. It was a key. Mhm. Let me in now. Let me in now. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. In now. I got money to let my friends now. In. Come on now. Come on. Mm-mm. I've been here since 1987. 1987. Some of y'all said, dang, she old as fuck. Not running a train. I'm just kidding. I'm just I'm just kidding. Nicki Minaj though, what does this man want from you? Because every time I see you guys together in my readings, it is very different. It's very different energy. It's very much googly eyes on his part. That's the only way I can say it. And I have to stop. You know those memes when they be pretending to laugh at your jokes and the person be like this, Nicki Minaj, I gotta stop. I gotta stop bankhead bouncing at your joke now because this is my third time saying, not even trying to. I said they got an informant helping them. And but then I start saying, but Nicki Minaj, what the love listen, and this is a Gemini card. So this is definitely Trump, Nikki, and the Department of Justice. But why is this the Trump and Nikki part? Both of them naked. She's looking up at the department needing help. He's looking at her. Do you see that? She's looking up at the divine help, but he's looking at her. But I'm gonna go back to doing this. All right, I ain't mean to stop there. Look, Gemini, Gemini, and they was just saying that oh, Trump is Jesus and he's the Gemini card in tarot. Listen, being Christian so long and being indoctrinated by westernized people, they prepped and primed y'all for the second coming. I told y'all the Jesus y'all was expecting, it is Trump. But if you feel a way about that, then you need to go back to your roots, like I said, especially if you black, the ones that they told y'all was evil. Go ahead, go back to him because that's why you feel weird now. He is exactly who they promised you all, who they promised themselves. And so when he places his face on Jesus, when they akin him to the magician card, because he's a Gemini, so that's been their interpretation of older esoteric wisdoms and truths since they learned how to read. But that's their interpretation of shit that's been profound knowledge and wisdom before they learned how to read. Now, if y'all let those people who have only been a nation for 250 years compared to these documents that they compiled into a Bible, played around with, most of which had existed thousands and thousands of years before this great nation and before they even thought to formulate a Jesus in order to combat what they found in some of the same scriptures that you guys read, but you don't know how to read. So, yes, they prepped and primed you guys. And yes, even the elect would be deceived. They prepped and primed you guys. So, yes, he is your Jesus. He is your Jesus. And do not be mad at God itself Because be mad at the doctrine, be mad at yourself. Take a moment to say, you know what? Even though certain traditions are passed down, I have my own sovereign mind, my own intuition that should be peeking through. But usually, when we get curious about things or we start to see that something isn't right, we'll turn the other way. We're used to turning the other way, or, oh, well, that's just how, because we don't feel like doing something, especially when it comes to our long held beliefs that our mamas and our grandmamas that we love and our great great grandmamas and passed down to us. How dare we think that sweet old Big Mama didn't know what she was talking about, not knowing that sweet old Big Mama might be you reincarnated so that she can come back and think again. In a time where information is more readily available, how many of y'all ancestors who died in ignorance couldn't wait to come back as you in an age where they would have the opportunity to know things that was kept from them before, when they had no choice to be given grace because it was an era of ignorance. Everything was sealed. Shit ain't sealed no more. The truth or the lie. Your ancestors couldn't wait. Your grandmama couldn't wait to be reborn through you or your child so that they could be taught something different that didn't cause them to not die in victory. And here you are surrounded by all this opportunity, knowledge, freedom, all this freedom. But you got to choose, has to be a choice, to not even explore. Everything that you learned or have been taught or passed down to you, it's nothing wrong with putting it under a microscope at some point of your life so that you know that even the traditions passed down to you are sound. And if they are not, it's okay to correct them, because that's what you are here for. That's why you're your ancestors' dream, to correct the things that they didn't have the opportunity to, not repeat them because they didn't have the opportunity to break free from them. My God. Nicki Minaj, I think that Jay-Z has a problem. This is the investigation. Nicki Minaj done went over there and made an unholy alliance with the Department of Justice, in my opinion. But her biggest grudge was through her dealings with this guy, a Sagittarius Leo or Aries male in reverse. So he's a king, but he's a bad one. Jay-Z, this could have been avoided. I'm telling you, this could have been avoided. You chose not to communicate in a emotionally intelligent way. This doesn't have to be compassion. This is emotional intelligence, meaning I don't like this bitch. But it's smart to be diplomatic, which is why this is also the card of a politician or a priest. Amen. And she would have been reasonable. You could have cut her a check. You could have made a payment plan with her. It seems like all she wanted was either her money or an opportunity to make money in peace. She wanted an opportunity to flourish. And their hopes and fears. Something just flipped out, but I'm going to let it come out on its own. I put it back. I think they're afraid of somebody's freedom. Ego. I mean, Beyonce said he had a big ego. Everybody knows about or it's been rumored about Jay-Z's ego since his inception in the entertainment industry. So the devil in reverse. They're wondering. In my opinion, this is a little bit of fear too, because you're not sure about any of this. All of these cups are in the air, all of these possibilities, and you don't know how things are going to turn out. Why? Because of this right here and this right here. This is treasure. This is the wreath of victory, in my opinion. And look, you're looking at the treasure. We can't see that, but let's pretend he's right in front of it. You believe that paying them was the best option for victory. But there were other, but now you guys are finding out that they may have a hidden agenda because somebody went down there talking. So a tower moment is left, a dragon and a serpent. After you remove paying them and getting a victory, you have, you don't know what they're going to do or what's under their sleeve because this person next to them was a talking head. So out of all of those, the only options are bad. And the worst is somebody being freed. Now, why? Why would that be so bad? You guys got the victory. He served some time. So, according to the victim, justice should have been served. I think they're starting to feel alienated. Their money was taken. And I think that that was a hefty chunk of change for them to dish out to the Department of Justice after Desiree Perez was just heard asking for $40 million. dollars. So that probably put them in a bind, Nate, having to pay the Department of Justice. But that's the gamble. That was the gamble. And now they're starting to see that maybe they gambled and lost, and they're concerned, look, about a RICO involving. Now, this would be a RICO because of all the entities involved in this. Megan fans, you can feel how you feel. I am not biased to the woman's music, her career. I am a reader. So the most I ever deal with her is when I read on her. I was too grown to listen to her music. I was when Megan the Stallion came out. I think I was towards the end half of my marriage. Child, I had no time, and I was making my own music, so I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But shout out to Megan. You guys, that I don't see that as their outcome though. So I will say that for the foreseeable future, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but I think they are afraid it could. Let's look at the RICO. B and J. This usually comes out for Rock Nation for me. BJ and Desiree Perez with the book of the law on her lap, the Torah. So this is the Rock Nation entity. Now I'm still looking into their fear being somebody being liberated, freed. Then I'm looking at the RICO that they fear. This has something to do with Rock Nation and something behind the scenes that they did. This is a conspiracy, a sacrifice of someone in a way. Their life wasn't taken, but their life was taken in a way that they can eventually get up. Somebody was nailed to the cross. Oh dear. Now that's a lion. Tory Lanez is a Leo. He's up here. The Leo emblem is up here with wings. A middleman, a mediator, and one who's doing the Lord's work, because that's the catecheist. You know, the same thing that you see in the medical industry, doing the Lord's work, trying to heal a situation. But these people, who this lion representing the Leo sign had to get in between, that would be the conspiracy behind the RICO, behind the fear of someone getting out. And this is a Leo card. Leo or Aquarius, but it's the fixed sign. So there's the lion again. At the bottom of her foot, the lion, the Leo. Leo, Taurus, um, Aquarius, Virgo. The four fixed sign, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Aquarius, the water bearer. Leo, the lion. Taurus, the bull. The lion, in Tory Lanez is a Leo, is right by this lady's dainty foot. See that? Doing a 10. See that Roman numeral? Year bid. And this is a fire sign card. 10-year bid to the dough. Like a G. Still standing. Still strong. Still active. Next. That took longer than usual. I like to do less chats and run through them, but child. Ice Spice for what? I'm sorry, that was rude. For no, but literally for what? What she got going on? Kanye. Can I do Kanye instead, sissy? Ice Spice is too low vibrational for me. Really, Leo? You think Ice Spice is better than Kanye? Ice Spice got beat up. She just got slapped. Somebody asked me to read on the Jada fight, and I thought I can't. I can't. You guys, y'all don't even know when I have grown or transformed or shape shifted because I've been doing it for so long with ease that I shed skin right in front of y'all sometimes or behind the scenes and I come back a new woman. I can't. I can't. I can't. It's, I can't. It's beneath me. I'm sorry. But I say that because as much energy as I be needing to do these readings, my members know I be starving, famished. When I finish these and I go do a members live, the members have to allow me to eat in the live. I be having to eat, sip in front of them. Jasmine done asked me for a P.O. box so she can start sending me snacks. Is Tyler a plant adorned? Yes. I talked about her before. I read her before. I read her once. It still stands. Mm-hmm. Of course she is. I remember watching an interview of her. I don't follow her either, but seems like everything happens for a reason with me. Even the things that I see. I and she was talking about how her parents forbade her. They were not on board with her pursuing music, but she begged them. They were prepared for her to go to school, engineering. She was supposed to be an engineer. They wanted her to go to school, and she begged them, just let me try it, and da 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 da. And then it seems like in between, it seems like in a 2 to 3 year span, boom. That doesn't typically happen. And in these days, I'm going to tell you guys because I existed in the old world before the New World Order fully set in and caged us in with the digital age. There has been a shift that a lot of the current adults won't notice because they weren't around to physically witness and be a part of the energy, the collective consciousness of how the industry used to be ran, how talent was a requirement. And only with the generation that was kind of born in the digital age fully, even some of the ones that were half in, half out, that's where the shift began because now the computer technology could do everything that you had to go out of the house to do. Church sermons were being streamed. A lot of people's voices back in the days were trained in somebody's church. I grew up in the gospel choir at church, so had performing arts. They took that away. I was in I had those electives, I think, in middle school, but by the time my sisters got to middle school, and they got to middle school as soon as I left, there was no more of those electives, home economics. We even had gospel choir, and that was a mandatory cycle for all students. We had all of those things that kind of, besides just STEM, we also had the arts to help us develop. The arts was taken away in the digital era because you didn't need to go anywhere to experience creativity. And so the vocal training, even the biology that we had, that humans had before the digital age, you guys are evolving to adapt to this new age. So your vocal cords aren't as strong anymore as we used to have. Even if you couldn't sing back in the day, you still probably could hit notes sounding bad. These girls today can't even belt. We used to be able to just talk loud and belt, even if you couldn't carry a tune. We had stronger vocal cords. We talked more to each other. The more this generation is raised to communicate through their fingers, you guys aren't exercising your vocal cords anymore. So you guys physically can't perform like the people used to. And the problem is that we've had to kind of settle. We've had to settle. And some people would say adapt. I believe it's settle. Adapting is evolving, but also keeping a standard. And music should make you feel something without a lot of technology. You guys don't feel anything when you hear these people perform live. And I take that back, you do, but that's because you guys didn't get to physically. Sorry, you guys, my mama called and it froze for a long time. Don't leave. Don't leave, y'all. Somebody called me and I'm on do not disturb, but it was my mama and she'll probably push through if you let them. But you guys weren't around to physically feel like or feel. I'm still here. um, you guys weren't around to feel what it felt like to experience that era. And even just hearing about it, you guys are just catching hand me down vibes off of what we're trying to convey. But you guys had to be there to feel it. So you guys is I don't even know why we got on this. Oh, Tyler. And so that I would like to say that everybody today is an industry plant because they found out when this generation or I'll even say the latter end of the millennials who grew up, had time to be developed into the digital age. I was already almost in middle school. I think I was in third or fourth grade when they rolled out computer classes, big box computers, and all we had was the Oregon Trail to play on there. Eh, I can't even remember what game because we played the Oregon Trail, but we had to learn how to use the computers that they had now, brought out. And that was even still before the internet. I didn't have internet when I had started taking internet didn't exist when I was taking computer classes so that we can learn computers. And so by then, I didn't have time to be programmed by the digital age. Facebook came out when I was in college, and you had to be a college student to get a Facebook page. That didn't last for long though, because they start thinking about money. But I didn't even come up in the social media age because I was already in college when Facebook came around. Oh, MySpace, but I just was never a social media girl. But I say that to say, you guys is normal is not the same normal. So when I say everybody's an industry plant, I say that because the industry had to adjust. The industry had to adjust to the lack of creative ability that we used to thrive on based on having to adapt to our biology adapting. So, yes. So, yes, I do believe Tyler's a plant, though. I do believe that she's been pushed, and I think they want to push her. I think she got pushed. She's being pushed harder than Tim's at this point. And poor Arya, what were they going to do with two dark skinned African girls? They had to stick with Tim's because before Tyler, that's all they had. And Tim's is stellar. But then Tyler came along and they had a marketable version, less curvy, less African. You look at Tyler and you look at Tim's and you see the motherland. You hear Tim's and you hear the motherland. You see Tyler and you don't register Africa. So she's getting pushed even harder than all of them because she's more marketable. And that is why I say everybody's a plant because the industry had to adjust or settle and adjust to the lack of talent that they used to be able to market and sell. When they realized that these people just can't compare to what we used to work with, then they said, okay, well, we have to make this work. We got to make it work with what we have. So then they start incorporating all of the technology that is responsible for you guys not utilizing your vocal cords anymore into enhancing your vocal cords. So you lose your natural ability, and then technology comes in to replace it, just like AI, just like that. And now they got robots now to do things. So because people started getting used to the idea of, well, none of these people can sing that much, but now I have to get used to it because all the greats are gone. Then everybody learned how to just settle with an industry full of plants because now their job is to make money, make the labels money. They don't believe in you guys' talent unless you have talent. Otherwise, they'll build you and then they'll build your talent in for you. And if you're marketable, the talent doesn't need to be there because now the people have fell so low from their standards only because we are mixed in with adults who are not a part of the old world now. So now it's just like this is what we have. She's dark. They signed all the African girls because it was time to expand the horizon and all of that stuff and capitalize off of other markets. But at the time, they didn't have a light skinned one to work with. So they had to make do with what they had. As soon as they got Tyler, then yeah. And now she's take me to Chanel. What? That's so American. That's such an American thing to say. You didn't even grow up here, I don't think. So where's your culture? And I'm not talking about in the little shimmy shimmies you do and in the little bit of tropical beats they put. Where's the culture? The problem is the Tiwa Savage, the Arya Star, the Tims, they give you culture, and that is the problem. I still will never forgive Rima for giving Calm Down to the Gomez clone and Justin Bieber. I'll never forgive that. But you know them Africans, they love. I'm sure they was just thinking, you know, Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber is going to be a pop hit, money, money, money. But I'll never forgive. They did the remix, and the other day, I think it was yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, I heard a version, and I only heard a white girl on it. She was singing the whole thing, so I thought, like, is this a kids pop version? But she says she's not Afrobeat. She's making up a new genre of Afro pop because she understands the need to appeal to American and European markets. So that's a plant. Somebody who's not just here, like, I just want to sing. And because I'm naturally creative, people buy into it. But no, there's a lot of strategy involved in making it palatable. I, s- I am a fan of Rima, and I was a fan of Wizkid. I actually still am a fan of Wizkid, but not so much Burna Boy. Do he sing that song? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's not Burna. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's not Burna. That's not Burna. That's Burna? Oh. I don't pay attention to who sing it when it comes on because I got a Rima station and a WizKid station, but I'm not a Burna Boy fan. Now that I do like that song. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Shout out to the Nigerians and all the motherlands. I'm sure he has done some things. You know who gives me that vibe? His mama. His mama. Her eyes. It's something about her eyes. Her eyes and her mouth. Some about them gives me ruthless. Gives me not to be fucked with. And wasn't she a part of Fela Kuti's entourage in some way? So I know he do that African woo. You can smell it on him. You can smell it on him. I mean, I can't. I can't say you can, but what African? I mean, if you African and you don't do some woo, that's your fault. Use a fool. Use a goddamn fool for not doing a little fetish, as y'all like to say when you look down on your roots. That's the crown of victory. I ain't want to say it, but since y'all said it, that's the crown of victory. And they was talking to black, but yeah, you can smell it on them. It smells like blood. It does. I can see it in my eyes. Blood and feathers. Smell just like it. Blood and feathers is what I see. Blood, feathers, drums. All right. And that's okay because long as it ain't no babies, no bitches, and none of that, you know. Chloe got taken for a ride. Y'all remember I read they situation? And I said, this girl is fit. She's sprung. Lord, I said she gonna be googly eyes over him, and he just hit her with that Nigeria. Ooh, child. And she was. She was over there slobbing, drooling. Oh, he took her through there, and she had cancer and a young tender green one. So yeah, she was a blue crab. Mm-mm. She wasn't a snow crab. She wasn't an Alaskan king crab. Nope. She wasn't a Dungeness crab. She is a little bitty blue crab, real blue and green. Lord, but he got her nice and pink now. Sheila season. Ah! And to be honest, I was like, girl, it seems like a time would be had. So I'm here for it. The suya, the African food, the fufu, the agusi, the music, the weed, the body, child, all of it, just all of it, just child, yes. The only difference from me and her is I ain't tender, so only one of us is leaving in their feelings, and that wouldn't be me. It's gonna be Berna. But listen, listen. Yeah, I take them through. I would, girl, that looked like it was real fun. It looked like it was a fun experience, and I'm here for it, Chloe. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It looks like fun, not something. It looks like a good time, not a long time. Child, sissy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Child, all off key, off pitch. The man, yeah, sure woulda, sure woulda. The man would have been hitting Mariah whistle notes trying to do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right. You be saying no, 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 no when it's really yes, yes, yes. I feel like he knocked her legs loose. I feel like he made her cripple. Her energy messing with Burna Boy reminds me of when I lost my virginity, and the next day I had to play it off. And I just so happened to be in the car with my granddad, and he was supposed to be picking me up from my other grandma house, and we were supposed to be going home, but he needed to stop at Walmart and get some stuff for the house, like a whole grocery shopping trip. And I was dying walking through Walmart. I was dying walking through Walmart trying to walk regular because I knew I was stretched, but I felt myself walking wide leg, and I was trying to walk regular, and I was dying. Eventually, I got the keys and sat in the car, and it was hot as hell. But that made me think of Chloe, the wide leg walk, the pain. That's what I imagine her first time with Burna Boy was. And then the next two times in my imagination, it got better. Just like, okay. Yes, Miss Thompson. Yes, I was trying so hard. And my granddaddy clocked me. Why is you walking like that? Man, I tried to straighten up so bad, but I was hurt. I was wounded, abused. I said, Granddad, please let me go get in the key. Go. Let me get the keys. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And you doing too much in this grocery store. All right. So yes, Granddaddy, stay out your business. Don't worry about why I walk like this. Why you walk like that? Okay. So hell yeah, he could clock my tea. And listen, my auntie and all of them, they spiritual. They got gifts, but none of them are like mine, I don't think, because they gave their gifts to Jesus. But I was about 16 at this point. I think I'm on my second time doing it now. And now I'm starting to, feel a little way every now and then. Cause my mom used to say, when you have sex, it's like Pop Tarts. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. So once you do it once, you're gonna keep wanting it. And child, she ain't never lied. That's when I found out about that feeling you get horny. Child, I was sitting there on the couch in this house, because this was my grandparents' house in the living room, sitting between my grandmother and my Aunt Val, the other seer, the prophetess McLily. And I was thinking about when the next time when I can get to my other grandma house, because she lived where all the niggas was. And where my boyfriend, my little dude was, you know what I'm saying? And so I could sneak around at her house. And I was thinking about the next time I got a chance to go over there. I was actually thinking I was gonna call her that weekend and ask her, can I spend a night so I could be fast? And my auntie looked dead at me and said, I heard that. You better be careful. And then she turned her head and went back to the TV and left it at that. And I said, God damn, I can't get away with nothing around here. Cause she was good for that. She was good for hearing your thoughts. So don't get too close to my Val, cause she gonna hear some shit. She heard me, but she do that. She used to do that all the time. She's not as good as she used to be, but she looked. We was watching something, Walker Texas Ranger or something, and she lived in Michigan, so she was just here visiting. She had no business in my thoughts, but she slowly looked at me, smiled. I heard that. You better be careful. Look me up and down and look back at the TV because I'm her favorite niece. So she clocked me, but real cutesy, real demure. And I quickly got up. I just got up and went somewhere else because, bitch, get out. See, that's what happened when you live with naturally spiritual people. You stay getting clocked. You stay getting clocked. You can't think about nothing or nothing. They gonna dream about you and pull up on you in the midst of it. Man. Mm. And now I'm the one. Now it's me. All right. So Kanye. Kanye. That was the other good one. Kanye. No wonder we still alive. Man, everything they clocked me for, I still did. They might have clocked it, but they clocked it, but they ain't stop it. I'm slick. I'm my daddy's son. He a Scorpio. Listen, you gotta catch me like a thief in the night because I move real quick. I move in the shadows. Ooh. All right, child. I was just gonna tell some more of my tea, but let me show. All right, Kanye. I'm going to say this, and then this is probably going to have to be my last reading because, for one, I'm hungry. Two, I got to do my inner courts live, and I'm hungry. And three, we've gotten enough bang for our buck today for the Let's Chat. I'm going to say this, though. I know bullying when I see it. My tea is tea, honey, because for one, I ain't ashamed of none of it. So I'm going to tell it in its truth, and that's going to make it even better because we all have to learn and grow. A meet and greet. I feel like I need to get my platform bigger before I do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. For one, I'm shadow banned. Meet and greet. How people gonna find out about it? But once maybe I get my platform to maybe 10,000 subscribers, then we can do something cute. It's bigger than Jay-Z. No, 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 no. This is beyond Jay-Z. This is beyond Jay-Z. This is the people. This is the ish people. The kind of like people, those who have ears to hear. These are those people. Ish means like, kind of like, not quite, but kind of like. You know, the great value version of people. That's all them. And why? Because as much as people hate Kanye, I'm going to say this, and I'm speaking from somebody who sees things not just from the mundane, but I see better when I'm not on the ground. The man is brilliant. And I say that because his mind has to be so strong, despite the fact that they tried to Britney him, in my opinion. But his mind is so strong that he seems to be able to fight it so well that even they sometimes have, I think that they had to fall back and then try the bullying route. Because zapping him like that seems like he catches on and then he maneuvers and pivots. Now, I do still think that he's in dangerous water, so I ain't say that he clear. But I think that this man understands that he's in prison, that he's got himself in a prison. But at least while I'm here, y'all can imprison my body, but y'all can't imprison my mind. And that's why I say that he's brilliant, because y'all haven't experienced somebody waging a psychological war on you and a chemical war on you at the same time, including a PR war on you, a financial war on you. Y'all ain't experienced that. So we can say that he's crazy or we lost the old Kanye, but the old Kanye got into the industry and start talking too much about the wrong things. And you know what happens. Y'all could pretend like y'all don't see certain patterns because it makes you comfortable, but we'll call a thing here. And then later on, when the receipts drop and it becomes mainstream and the other people who only do reviews and stuff pick it up, then we'll let them have it. But it started when he was on that stage at his concert and then start sending messages to Jay-Z and all of that stuff. They let him kind of slide with the Bush stuff. But when he did that, remember, he went straight from the stage or from that concert into a 5150. And then his hair was blonde and then rainbowed. And that's when you know, they zap you. They put the thing on your head if they don't want to make you bald. And then they did that too. Didn't he go bald for a while? But if you have hair and they put the electrodes on there when they send the electricity through it, if they're using high voltage that's maybe higher than what's supposed to be, then your hair is going to get singed. So it might help to bleach it or cut it all off. And he went through both of those eras. So, and remember, his personal trainer, it was a message that he sent Kanye that was released. And he threatened to have him zapped into oblivion. Whose personal trainer would say something like that? Whose personal trainer would have the access or the capability to zap you out of your mind? I told y'all in Hollywood, I told y'all celebrities, but y'all know, I'm not telling y'all nothing y'all don't know about the entourages and how they be the ones. The trainers, the chefs, the agents, the personal assistants, all, stylists and all of them, makeup artists, the nannies, all of them. Hmm. Hmm. But Kanye still is able to create very effectively and send messages effectively. And he be blatantly telling them, y'all have me, y'all got me, but not the way y'all really want me. And that's here. And I have to acknowledge that for what it is and its brilliance because the mind, it's not always strong if you don't if it ain't strong already, then most of the people who call Kanye crazy would not be alive going through some of the attacks that I believe he's gone through. And in my opinion, it lends to the strength of his actual mind, not brain, but the spirit within the brain, the mind. That is strong, and that's brilliant to me. Then again, I was married to a Gemini, so it might be a little bit of an energetic bias. They say air signs don't usually match, but me and my ex-husband were a key. We were a time. We were great friends. I ain't think he was brilliant. I thought I was the brilliant one, but we were great friends. I had a lot of fun with him. We had fun together growing up together. All right. So Kanye, let me just look into the energy surrounding you. You apologize to those people and they still have brought up stuff that they want to bully you about, I believe. I don't think that's fair, but if these people say we don't want him in this country, sure, whatever. Go where you're wanted because that'll be where you're safe. Trying to prove a point and going somewhere just to prove a point gets you in a bind, Nate. Most High Mother and Father God, please. I heard you just did Live Nation, Rock Nation. Cleanse your hands before you got a call Kanye in here before cars be flying all over the deck, slapping you in the face, cutting up and carrying on because they having a slap down all out brawl. All right, Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, the soul, and the collective energy of Kanye to the West. Is it Yay today? Is it Yeezy? It's Yay. It's not. I'm calling him goddamn Kanye. I call him no damn Yay Yeezy. To hell to the. Auntie ain't got time for that. What you said your name was, Sugar, when you met me? Okay, baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let the kids keep up. I had to live through all Diddy name changes. So at this stage of my life, I can barely remember my nieces and nephews' names. I had to literally we had to follow Diddy. We can't do this with y'all no more. Y'all pick a name and stay there. Especially because us millennials, we and older, we had to deal with it. I still don't know which name he on. And I'm not calling him no love. So I'm not doing that. We're gonna stick with one of them P names he chose. Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Sean. He changed his names like underwear, but that was a little bit of shape shifting too, pivoting and shape shifting, rebirths and stuff like that. Kanye, Spirit, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Kanye West. Compel him to speak it. You don't have to compel him. Nope. We won't force Kanye to do shit. He's had enough compelling. Kanye, speak your spirit and your soul's truth, keeping absolutely nothing hidden from me, please. I am friendly fire. You know me. You're the reason I even do celebrity readings. For the newbies, Kanye was my first celebrity readings. I only used to do cold case situations here. I only used to read the dead, honey. I didn't want this kind of attention. I said, no, social media has shown me that celebrity stuff brings too much chaotic attention, and I'm a low-key kind of girl who's always been very public and popular. But and here I am. Kanye. It was Kanye. Gone look. Gone look. It was Kanye. So watch out for the baby Earl. Ain't nothing slick. You can't out slick a can of oil. You can't do that, baby. I am the baby and the oil. All right. Spirit, please allow me to speak to Kanye West. Kanye. I have Kanye's energy because right here between my eye, it feels like I don't know if it's like a whirling, it feels like a swirl, a swift swirl, but it actually is annoying. Like I feel like my third eye is swirling like a whirlpool, and it's annoying. I don't like it because it almost brings on an air of controlled confusion. There we have Kanye West. Controlled confusion. His brain has to be very big. I feel like his because it's a muscle. So I feel like sometimes it takes a lot of brain muscle to fight when the zap leftover energy starts to creep in. You know who ain't as strong as Kanye, but also is in a similar situation, in my opinion? Y'all know who? Burr. This for the old heads. Bricks. All white bricks, off white bricks, light tan bricks, just hit a lick for 50 more bricks, falling like a bitch with all these bricks. Bricks! So I used to see, yo, I'm a fool on the go. They think I'm putting VVS jewels on the coat. Gucci. His mind ain't strong like that. But he also went to prison. And they do strange things to prisoners. Very experimental things to prisoners. I've heard and I've read in my cards. And with his wife, his handler of a wife, I think that when Gucci's mind fights, because I think it does, and I only think that because of things that Keisha Kayor has says, like I noticed when he's having an episode, meaning he's coming out of the sunken place, because she says he'll be mean to her. And I told you guys, if a prisoner wakes up and finds himself in prison, and they see the person who imprisoned them, their prison guard, they might fight. They might fight out until you zap them again. And then she said, but I know how to fix it. She said, in the snap of a finger. That's what she said. And she did it. Takes his phone, his social media, isolates him. She says he'll say things like, "You're not my wife. I don't love you." And then she says, "And I know he's having an episode because those aren't things that you say to your wife." Well, if you're coming out of the sunken place and you're coming to, and the last thing you remember is airing her out on social media, going to jail, coming out, and being married with new denture, new veneers, then yes, you might revert to the last memory you had when you were not in the sunken place, which is why he always goes back to being mean to her because his last lucid memory was when he aired her out. And to be honest, he aired out the whole industry. He probably was done with them. But when he becomes lucid, he goes back to the last thing that OG Gucci remembered, and that he was done with her and he hated her. But who are you to say something's wrong with you because those aren't things that you should say to your wife? Anyways, look at all this medicine. All right, so Kanye, what's going on with you currently? You just came out with an album, and those people, the shadow people behind the US government, they, I see you've been banned from whole countries. They say they don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. That was Angela Bassett. What was that? Was that what's love got to do with it? What was she playing? Was she? But I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. What was that movie? It wasn't What's Love Got to Do with It because when she was done with him, she beat him. The Jackson movie. Thank you, Leo. American Dream. But I don't want you. Oh, when she caught him. I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you no more. That's what the UK said to Kanye. Because he was supposed to be there. But they said, I don't want you. I don't want you no more. Yes, Queen Mother Angela Bassett, the icon. Oh, so many good movie memories because of her. Oh, all right, Kanye. What's going on with you, dear? I like reading Kanye. This is probably on my second, maybe third time doing it. But when I call Kanye's energy, I feel like I can protect, I feel like his protector. But maybe I feel like he feels safe in my energetic arms. hmm Don't get too comfortable, Kanye. This ain't that. No, his energy said, I know. It ain't that with you either. You know I like the ski. No, he would have another black woman if he could, but that'll get him murked. Ain't no black women handlers around that high up for Kanye. So no, 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 he can't be back with a motherland. That would get him murked. Not no black woman. No, she would heal him. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. She would have him eating Negro food, listening to Negro music, reciting Negro spiritual. She would be comforting him, protecting him, defending him, fucking the shit out of him, and that would definitely sew him up. Mm-mm. Next thing you know, he all the way in his right mind. Mm-mm. 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 Kanye would if he could, because he knows it's healing over there, but he can't. That's sad. All right, Kanye. And here they go again. You know them pentacle people. They said anytime you think you finna be up, 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 you're gonna be down, down, down. And in my opinion, it was a success of his recent album. Now, I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to it. I'm a fan of Kanye's Mind. I can't think of the last Kanye song I've heard. I did. I do think I watched his new video with Travis Scott because I wanted to see the imagery in the video and what he was communicating. And I thought, oh, this is nice. I see what you're saying, and I like the way you expressed it here. Um, I'm not opposed to his music though. Kanye makes good music. I just don't um, go out of my way to listen to a lot of people's music, but this makes me feel like he. I think the confusion inside his head is constant. I think it's constant. Like for him, it may be a low hum that he always hears. It never goes away. And then sometimes it starts growing louder, but he knows to kind of assert his mental strength when it starts getting louder, because then the loudness might cause confusion. But I think that soft hum might always be there. That's how I imagine the confusion that I was seeing in his mind. That's the best way I can verbalize it. They don't want him doing too much. You gonna go and do these successful shows. Now this could have some Jay-Z juice in it too, because by all means, a Jay-Z run at the same time as a Kanye run would make Jay-Z look extra, extra bad. Kanye's fan base is more diverse and expansive than Jay-Z's fan base simply because Kanye is a current artist and Jay-Z's peak was for us millennials and above. And we don't give a flip. Kids is in high school, college, kids graduating, having babies. You know what I'm saying? We trying to navigate life changes. Our parents are getting sick and passing away, and our other elders. Some of us going through perimenopause. I ain't there yet, but I'm tiptoeing because of PCOS. I'll probably be there quicker than I'm supposed to, but nevertheless. So we just don't have the time unless, but Kanye West has a very diverse fan base and he still attracts an audience that still has enough energy and freedom in their life to go out and come out and party with Kanye. And I think they relate to his music more right now than Jay Z, your upper echelon music. You have Grey Poupon music. Kanye has mustard. You have honey or spice mustard music these days. Kanye has mustard. It goes on most of the mustard foods. You can even, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's good with mustard, but not everybody likes a spicy mustard and not everybody likes a honey mustard. Kanye is just he just gives the mustard. So Jay-Z, anyways, so there is an attempt to keep Kanye from being as successful as he is projected to be, could be, should be. The younger generation can't differentiate. I think the younger generation, I think Jay-Z's younger fans come from his Beyonce era, but not his solo Jay-Z era. And the Beyonce fans that he got, they probably, went and listened to some of his songs and, oh, that's cool, that's cute. But yeah, what about Beyonce? And they'll be loyal to him and support him because of Beyonce. That's some. Then you do have his true diehard hardcore fans. And I do think there are still a lot of party going crowd that still find a Jay Z concert desirable. I just don't think he can outdo a concert moment. Yeah. This is the Four of Wands in reverse. Now, his challenge is not be able to. I don't like this because I was going to say this was that country telling him that he's not welcome, even though they did welcome him at first, and that is what this is. But this also makes me feel like a call or something might have been called in. This wasn't those people who canceled him. It wasn't their initial decision. Somebody went over their head to do so. And in my opinion, even if it had anything to do with Jay Z, above Jay Z is the same people that Kanye directly is an enemy of. The Hangman. Kanye, are you still alive? Kanye, why does this look like you left in the past? Why does this look like you were sacrificed already? This could just be because this is also a Pisces card. Two fish swimming in different direction up and downstream. Two different people inside of his mind. Pisces in astrology rules the 12th house, the house of the subconscious. Also, it rules hospitals, institutions, prisons, things like that as well. Hidden enemies, behind the scenes enemies, high spirituality as well. So I could just look at this and say this is a Pisces card. In a sense, Kanye was sacrificed, but I would have saw the moon. I would have saw the moon for that. The psychological break, the psychological sacrifice. Kanye, why does this look like this? You not here. The high priestess. Hi- Pisces in the past, Pisces in the future. First and foremost, the feds do entertain Beyond the Veil with the Dean. I just want y'all to know, and I'm surprised they let me cook for this long, but I think that their hands are tied on this matter. I ain't bluffing though, because y'all will hit the button real quick. So I will say that there might be a little intrigue about the idea of Kanye not being here being said on this platform. I don't think Kanye is here in the way that he used to be here. I think his wife is a handler, and I think there are two versions of Kanye that exist. Now, again, I'm just going to say that I'm going to clarify that hangman in the past, but that is usually my sacrifice card when reading celebrities. It can also be consequences or you being sacrificed in a way because I used to get this, I was getting this for Beyonce's outcome too. And in a sense, she was sacrificed for saving Jay-Z. So this could be his split, two minds, and then a handler sitting in between. But no, 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 no. I feel like this has something to do with technology that, spirituality doesn't look the way it used to anymore. Rituals and ceremonies don't look the way they used to anymore. It'll look like technology. It'll look like doing something actually practical and mundane, but the science behind it is the same science behind certain rituals that they used to do in the past before they had technology to do it better. Like when I said working at Lockheed Martin, I would see veves or certain sigils in the layouts or the ley lines of certain circuit boards would be the same as certain sigils or veves that I have seen in spirituality. And I understood back then that they found a way to kind of make a more practical application of something that we just used to do off of spirit energy, of pure energy manipulation. Um, this feels like that. This feels like a Kanye that is turned off and turned on, and it has two main core program personalities. The one that opposes the Jays because he's black, and then the one that goes in alignment with the Jays, a black and a Jay. One side of Kanye, he comes out and he goes rogue, and then he apologizes and then goes back in a line. All time though, his wife, who has the Torah in her hand, is there, keeping the veil sacred. Now, what is beyond that veil? The truth. The truth that is not projected out because it's hidden. And this is the tree of life surrounding her. This man isn't here. This man isn't here. And I won't even call him a clone because their technology is beyond that now. It's something like it, but it's more humanoid. Because they have artificial intelligence now, and the way they've infused it into this new bring them back to life technology, it's almost like you can reprogram the old body. Like you don't even have to use the artificial body. You can literally reprogram the new body. And when I did Jamie Foxx after his health scare, that's when I saw this because I said he passed away, but they kept his brain conscious long enough on those machines and then shipped him, airlifted him to that facility in Chicago where they were trying out some new, in my opinion, they tried out some new technology on him. And I said, from what I saw, it's like a chip that they can place inside of your spinal cord. You don't just work off of the brain when you want to bring a person back to life. You have to re energize or wake up their whole nervous system. So, in my opinion, they put it somewhere in the spine or in the neck, the back of the neck, right here. Because everybody always worries about the third eye, but this right here, isn't this the mandibula oblongata? This is actually another very high portal right here. So they would have to place it right there on the base of the spine and the neck and the skull. That could control the brain function as well as the function of the rest of the body. New technology, they don't need to create a body double. But if you have been injured in your DEATH, then they might do some fixing and tweaking. So then you might come out looking like the new Selena Gomez. This is a Beyond the Veil moment of silence. Whose idea was it to tell us that Kanye was gone in his video with Travis Scott? The young Kanye and the mother sitting on that bench behind him? The mother with the cat face and the young boy with the Rubik's Cube, a Gemini, someone with a high IQ? In the afterlife limbo area, Kanye reunited with his mother in the afterlife. It's in there. Some people were hauled off to judgment. Some people were able to walk out and go, like Kanye and his mother. It's not about replacing them, it's about somebody that can make people money and you don't want to waste them. But when you can't control them, you take them out. But when there's somebody that is highly marketable, able to still make the system money, then you salvage the goods. You fix them up, put them back out there, and we don't tell the difference. We still making somebody money. He has a wife, in my opinion. This is her with the Torah on her lap. So these are games. These are games. And actually, it is a spiritual game, flogging the soul of a man, owning his image, his body, crowning this man. He and his wife are bound to a higher entity here. And this doesn't look like a happy couple, which means now the devil is burning his tail, not hers. So when the devil wants to get you or own you, they send a woman. I told y'all this in my Kai Sanat reading when I told him the Samson and Delilah story and how they get you guys at your height. Samson of Akai Sanat. And it wasn't Delilah who cut off your hair, but it was the Delilah who cut off your hair on that live. You got you a pretty Instagram influencer industry girl, complete with industry friends, and then you're no longer. In fact, going through it in your mind. This is practical magic. So you guys don't know when certain things hold significant spiritual weight because it looks like just somebody doing something. But so Kanye West, his honeydew, they sent the honeydew. I'm anxious to clarify this hangman to see when he became the hangman, if it was before or after this honeydew. And I think it was after because she's only with him because of some obligation. He's only with her because of some obligation. But they're both obligated to this entity here. And it has an inverted pentagram. Want to know why it's inverted? Because, in my opinion, they are Jewish and not Jews. You want to know who would be the people behind the identity that they claim? That's why we replaced. It's a destiny swap, but that's why it's an inverted pentagram on his head and it's bondage, control, slavery. Do you understand? Okay. So the man eventually made an enemy with Saturn on his hand because it's a Capricorn card. So the glyph of Saturn is here because it's a Capricorn card. Hmm. You know what Saturn rules? Suppression, restriction, discipline, time, time required, time served, bondage of some sort. This woman isn't her own woman. His wife, Bianca, she's not her own woman, in my opinion. And this is just a shell of what used to be, in my opinion, Kanye West. So currently they're bullying him, but this is overkill. They don't have to. But you see that? The infinity symbol stands for DNA and immortality. Beating a dead horse, because I don't want to say a dead person. Flogging a dead horse because there is a spiritual, energetic impact behind doing so. It's so that the person isn't able to, or an attempt to cause them to not, what for one, receive a crown of victory, because Kanye probably would have. Nah, I'm not sure. He might have, because he went rogue after, but then I don't know what state he was in, but Kanye left with too much, or I'll say he has too much mind power. And when you pass away, your mind shuts down like a computer, but it has to record everything that was being programmed. And so that's why when you turn on your computer, all your stuff is still there because it's programmed there. And it kind of writes everything down as you're shutting your computer down so it can program it for when you need to use it again. The mind works the same way. That's how they learned to program computers, through studying the human brain. And so they found that memory is not erased, not naturally, not until after the second death, because dying out of this body isn't death. But sure, we can call it the first death. Nevertheless, Kanye's supercomputer, I believe, it's like being brain dead, but then having some sort of chip put in you so that you can still emulate being alive. But in all actuality, your essence is gone and they can't get that back. Although I do see that they can enslave it. You can enslave a soul. I'm not going to say that the enemy can't win a soul, because it can. I would love to say they won't win. No, 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 no. Especially if you sign contracts with them. Because in these recording contracts, sometimes you sign your likeness and your image into perpetuity. Sometimes you sign it for 60 years, 30 years, 90 years after your death. That is why they can still make money off of you even after you are in your rest. Hey, JD. Did I ever work with Khan? I don't know who Khan is. Is that Shaka? Because I love her, especially when she's not being shady to people. Gungus? No. Sounds like a fungus. No shade to the Gungus Khan. So between those cons, um, I've never been to the Cannes Film Festival, so I don't know. Farah Khan? None of them. None of the cons. This is just pure. Oh, this isn't me being a handler. Pure high priestess energy. Y'all was like, wait, pure handler? No, pure high priestess energy. I was born this way. I am the culmination of all of my family's gifts. My grandmother and her siblings all had their own individual form of the gifts of spirit. And then some of my aunts and uncle, well, my mom, my uncle Leo, my aunt Val, my uncle James was the pastor. They're all ministers. So all of them do. We've had undertaker, I mean not undertaker, but somebody who owned a funeral home who worked with the dead. So I got that. My grandmother and her brother picked. They was a woo lady and a woo man brother sister duo. So I got that, and I'm just the melting pot of all the things that were passed throughout my family because because of my mama decided to marry my daddy and create me, and his DNA with hers created this. Somebody who Christianity could not kill, that religion couldn't kill my mind or what was in my spirit. That part came from my daddy because he's a genius, a literal one. Did I tell you guys that my father is known in my community for building VCRs about 5 years before they were even marketed, put out by anyone? They said they used to line up at our house before I was born and sit and watch my daddy with his wires and components and circuit boards. And he would build VCRs and he would give them sometimes to some of the young boys in the community who still respect my daddy to this day. Yep. Poor Kanye. What these people are doing, in my opinion, is horrible, but they've been given the right to because Kanye, you signed a contract with them, and it looks like one of those super mega industry A-lister contracts. Now, if this isn't Kanye being passed away, this is his mother because this is a sacrifice card. Kanye could be here in a fractured state, going in and out of the sunken place. This could be his mother, but something about this feels like Kanye. This would have shown up as the Empress if it was his mother, and then this would have come out to clarify. We're beyond that. I don't think he's here the way he should be, the way he used to be. And I think that they are beating a dead horse. I think that they are doing it in a ritualistic way because it's an attempt to tarnish one's image in the minds of the collective consciousness where one would live and thrive after life. The star, this is, oh my God. I read Kanye Mama one time and I asked if she was a spiritualist or if she practiced any spirituality because we was doing a let's chat and one of y'all asked. The two things Kanye West and his mother have in common, or Kanye West's mother isn't here. I don't think Kanye is here. I think that we see a star. I think we see Kanye. I think he still exists as Kanye. One, two, three. Surrounding Kanye, major arcanas. Major arcanas. This is beyond whatever he's going through in the media. This man is not here. He's not here. He's not here. Whoever he signed to, though, his label executive would be the one benefiting from Kanye still appearing and being lucrative. Even the controversy, it keeps up the image of Kanye. It'll never die. It's the polarity of positive and negative. You do that to create something new, order out of chaos. Things still have to go the same way. And this continues to boost the brand, the star of Kanye. When we're rooting for him, but the powers that be who everybody knows not to like are against him, makes us love him and hate him even more. And all that does is keep him very, very, very relevant. I wonder how many more albums we'll get from him because something tells me that they are using a lot of old material and technology. Hopes and Fears, the Queen of Cups. The wife. Whoever this executive is that benefits from having Kanye in this situation is dependent on the wife being able to do her job. And in my opinion, she's on some sort of substance too, but her job is to not be zapped and out of her mind. So it's almost like two MK Ultra people being programmed for different things. She's programmed to function, but she's still programmed, still a shell of herself. And she's functioning to do his work. This could also be Kanye West because he just released an album, but no, that's the industry person, whoever he signed to. Outcome, Page of Wands, where is he supposed to do a show? Was it the Wireless Festival that was canceled, but he still has other shows? What is this Page of Wands and his outcome? Kanye is a success story, in my opinion. Is using a body, using a body while it's on its way out to glory. Some form of ritual done in technology to swap. And this was a success, even more so than Jamie, in my opinion. He just got banned from Poland too. What is this Page of Wands? He's standing somewhere upright. Eight of Pentacles reversed, not here. So I don't know if this Kanye is going to do something here in the States since he can't go overseas. I don't know if he has any other shows booked anywhere else that haven't canceled him. But if he has like a tour or a lineup of shows, then he'll just go and finish out the ones that he can finish out. Um, I think they have a problem though. I don't think anybody's ever explained in this way the clone theory. They are okay with conspiracy theories about cloning and stuff, so long as you're only becoming awakened to their old news. But they have a problem, and child, it's probably the idea of somebody's talking about their technology and how it's used. Justice Department to fix it. Mm. Anyways, they would if they could. Let me look into this past position and let me just get right down to my meat and potatoes. Oh, Kanye. Oh, Kanye. Kanye, in my opinion, passed away. If he has, and this is just my opinion, I'm a crazy lady. Kanye West is literally walking around and doing music. So it's okay for me to be a crazy lady. Don't take anything I say seriously, please. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. And I smoke weed. At a party, that was a ritual and a setup, in my opinion. Three of Cups. Yes. This ain't no party. This is a setup, a ritual. A party that turned into a setup, a ritual. End up alone in a room under a threat. And it's too late. The industry realizing that the powers that be are getting ready to take you down. And look at this. A person on a tomb. So upright, I would say they let him rest and we got the memo. In reverse though, he's no longer, he's entombed, but he's still speaking. This is the technology, the surgery. I don't know if it's like Cedar Sinai, but it feels like some Jewish related hospital. It feels like Cedar Sinai or something like that because they do all kinds of things to people there that get covered up, not publicized, all kinds of stuff. I said this before. If anybody remembers me saying this, take me anywhere. But I would never get hospitalized at a Cedar Sinai. I don't care if y'all let somebody on Skid Row patch me up. Don't take me there. Mm-mm. I don't know if it's that place, but it feels like a Jewish um, founded hospital. Hmm. The devil crowning you, Kanye. This man is gone. Grieving him already happened. Gone. Happened and didn't happen because we didn't get a chance to. Look at that. A shared vision to a decision. Somebody who's initiated, like a Mason or something, from some fraternal order, who can arrange these things and call the shots on behalf of the brotherhood or whatever they want to call themselves. And then they set up everybody with their part to play to keep him, to make it seem like he's still active and of a live wire. So the point is that everybody's in agreement that Kanye needs to still be Kanye. So we need to still, have a beef with him because that's what Kanye was doing. It'll look weird if Kanye apologizes to us and never crashes out again or anything like that. So he has to be both. And they're okay with it now because, in my opinion, they've got rid of the rogue OG pure spirit Kanye. But the star, that's an Aquarius card. The age of Aquarius rules Aquarius in astrology is one of the rulers or the ruler of things like technology, the soul, evolution, free spiritedness, things like that, freedom of the soul, the star. This man's soul has ascended. It's not in his body, not in the God given body, and not the God given spirit with all of the God given senses. This man is with his mama. His soul is with his mother. They are together, but not upright, standing up. They're together. My God. This man's soul is with his mama. It's not in a physical body anymore. Not the one that he came with. He's not in the state that he was when he was born. That's why they're aces. Origin, pure manifestation. Not the same body, pentacle, earth sign, not the same soul, spirit, water sign. My God. You are now watching me be gagged by my own reading. I actually want to end this now. High Priestess. Oh my God. Uh, uh, Handler. Um, hit so below strength. Uh, there's a boss or an entity of men who still utilize Kanye, but also still show their displeasure in him. In the here life and the afterlife, they beat, they're flogging this man, which is why crowning him. And his last memory was probably, the state that he was in the industry when he was fighting for his right mind. I am out of this. Members, give me a second to respond to all the calls that I missed and find myself something to eat. Y'all meet me in the members live at 6:30, and that's inner courts, the inner courts members, because tonight we will begin our next ceremony. This is the second and probably the last of what I feel like are foundational ceremonies. They don't require any materials or woo or anything like that. Now next month we'll probably, what's next month? May. Taurus and Gemini. I'll let it come to me later what kind of ceremony we'll do, but we'll do a woo woo ceremony. But this one is another foundational one that doesn't require any tools. And we'll only do it once together, and then I'll let you guys have it so you can do it on your own. But I do encourage you guys to do it. And anyways, for the rest of you guys, this was cute. This was fun. Everything I said here should be taken with a grain of salt. All of my memberships are available for you to join, my dear. I suppose I will post the membership links after this, but check my page. They might be on there already in the post. And if not, then check it again in about 15 minutes and I'll post the membership if you can't find it any other way. All right, you guys have an amazing Friday. It's the day of Venus. Everybody make money and get some. Everybody make whoopee tonight. It's the spring, it's hot outside. It's the season of fertility. So careful out there unless you're trying to conceive. But the rest of y'all, it's the spring season and it is the day of Venus. So you guys go make whoopee in the safe way. Good night.